Hi everyone. I'm starting early because I don't know, last time I had the issue that I started and then it took a while to actually start and for people to get in, so I thought I would just start it a couple minutes before just in case. I hope you guys can hear me well, so let me know if you can hear me. Loud and clear. Alright. I hope the internet is okay, because yesterday I had the issue that my internet went out for like half an hour. I don't know. You spooked me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Guys, today's a very exciting day. I'm gonna be making a cheesecake and I'm gonna be making my favorite Latinx food, dulce de leche. So join me at making yummy food. Hi Hime, and once again, before you ask as usual, the S said is read as sh. Yeah, Chef Lamac. I never get it right. I am so sorry. I will remember. I'm so sorry. What kind of cheesecake? Because I am Megumin, explosion and whatever, I'm gonna be making a Basque cheesecake, which is like a cheesecake where you burn like the top of the cheesecake and it gives it this really nice caramelly flavor. And I actually find that it is very easy to make. And I have never had it not come out right. So I am telling you guys, this is like a no-fail recipe. It's really good. Any Latinx in the chat? So true. Any Latinx in the chat? I support all Latinx. Okay, maybe maybe we can start talking about the different types of Latinx and which I support more, but anyway. I hope the kitchen will blow up. Hopefully not. But I have the oven preheating at 250 degrees Celsius, so really, really hot. So I just hope my wig doesn't burn down or something. We'll see. Slightly off topic, but do you think Megumin would join the Shadow Money Wizard gang? What do you mean? I don't know what that is. What is this? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I'm honorary Latinx, Philippines. So true. You never heard of it? No, I have never heard of that, genuinely. I looked it up and I don't know, I feel like I maybe have seen that, but I don't know what that is. Not gonna lie, I don't know what that is. Anyway, okay. So cheesecake. You only need a couple ingredients to make this. Number one, you need cream cheese. I have this cream cheese. You need vanilla yogurt. I have this one here. You need cornstarch and vanilla, but to make it with less ingredients, you can use pudding mix, which is basically cornstarch with vanilla. At least the in Germany, they don't add sugar to it, so it's just cornstarch and flavor and a little bit of okay, this one does have a bit of sugar, but it's not very sweet. It doesn't add a lot of sugar or anything. And you also need a little bit of sugar and some eggs. For the quantity that I'm making, I'm gonna need 2 eggs. Cheesecake sounds cheesy. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cheesy, you guys. I really like this cheesecake. I have made it 3 or 4 other times and I am a big fan of it. I really like it. And it's even best if I'm not gonna eat it today because the best thing is if you leave it overnight in the fridge and you eat it I don't know, 12 to 24 hours later, I think it tastes the best then. It's a little bit like tiramisu, which also gets better with time. Anyway, this is about 300 grams of cream cheese. I'm not being super exact with the measurements because I don't have a scale. And I also don't want to waste any of the ingredients, so I'm just using like all I can. But anyway, so cream cheese, step number one. And also preheat your oven at least 15 to 20 minutes before, because you really want it to get really hot so you can get that nice and burnt top. Best recipes are eyeballing. I love scales, I love measuring, but I don't have one here, so we have to eyeball things a little bit. Hello, what you making tonight? Hi, Photoply. We're making a cheesecake. So here I have cream cheese, and now we have vanilla yogurt. And yeah, the thing that I'm gonna have to eyeball or like just add to taste is the sugar, because I really don't have anything to measure it. And you also don't really want this being too sweet, because you really want like the vanilla and like creamy flavor to like really come through. Okay, so now I have my cream cheese and my yogurt, and I'm just gonna mix it until I don't have any lumps. I prefer exact measurements because baking always feels like science. Yeah, like the issue with baking is that if you don't have exact measurements, you really risk messing things up a lot. I mean, something like this cheesecake is actually very hard to mess up because like the measurements, I mean, it might just be a little bit too sweet or a little bit too soft or something like that. But with other things, if you mess up even just a little bit, like the entire thing is completely ruined. Okay, wait, I'm gonna go get the kitchen towel, because otherwise I'm gonna start making a mess, and I do not want to ruin my cosplay. Okay. Cooking feels like an art, baking just a science. Look, I actually feel the complete opposite. Cooking is so boring. Cooking is like just cutting things. Like, it's not fun. Baking is like an art, because you like, so like a huge part of baking, also cooking, but I would argue that baking even more so. It's like making things look cute, like making things look nice. Baking like relies a lot more on aesthetics, you know, because you can only make a piece of chicken look so aesthetic, but with baking you really want things to look like cute and like, I don't know, nice. You might accidentally create new life by adding slightly too much yeast. I'm not adding any yeast here, okay? There's no yeast. Okay, and now I have this pudding powder, which I'm just gonna check about how much I have to add, but it doesn't need to be too exact. So I need to add about 4 teaspoons, so that looks like about 4 teaspoons. But yeah, this recipe, I will say it's not super exact. The sugar I will just add to taste. So yeah, I think what's gonna take the longest time is gonna be making the dulce de leche caramel. Okay, I'm gonna check. So it does need more sugar, but not a lot. It's actually already quite sweet from the yogurt. So I'm gonna add about that much and see what it tastes like. Also, I'm thinking of maybe adding a little bit of salt, just to make it like have an interesting like flavor, because it's nice to add a little bit of salt to baked goods. Yeah, I actually feel like that was enough sugar. Looks is a little bit of a bonus if anything. I don't know, I feel like with baked goods, looks are very important, because like a cake, I don't know, like a birthday cake or something like that, like part of the fun is that it looks really nice. Add MSG, no. Oh, I was talking about baking being precise. Yeah, I guess in that way it's more of a science. I guess cooking is a little bit more vibes and what you're feeling. Baking needs to be a lot more exact. But yeah, I feel like baking is more of an art. Anyway, I'm gonna quickly wash this because we're gonna need this for the caramel. And then I'm gonna bring the, because this is already done. Like, that is it. I just need to put it in the form, and then I'm gonna put it in the oven. So give me a sec. And then I have a form which is just lined with baking paper. And that is kind of it. And then you just put it in here and we'll see how long it takes. You need to keep an eye on it because it really depends on the size of your pan, how long it's gonna take. But yeah, in general, just when it starts to get like burnt at the top, then you take it out because you want the top to be like really brown but not black, basically. I'll show you guys what I mean later. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the oven like so, and we'll keep an eye on it. I'm just gonna leave this with some water so it doesn't get sticky later. Okay, yeah, for the dulce de leche, I'm gonna wait a little bit and then we can get started. I want to see what, I want to have the cheesecake ready first, because for the dulce de leche, we're gonna be on the stove the entire time because it takes a lot. It takes a lot. How long does it take to prepare a cheesecake? This one is really easy, but there are some that are more complicated because they have like a crust or something like that. But this one is my favorite recipe. It is really easy and I think that it's really yummy. But I thought it takes too little time to make it like a whole stream, so that's why I also want to do the caramel, but I'll wait a little bit for the caramel. The caramel takes like 30 to 40 minutes where I just have to be on the stove mixing it the entire time. So so that's gonna take a while. Can we have a quick recipe recap for the clip watchers? Yeah. So the cheesecake, you mix, I did like a double recipe to make a large cheesecake. It's 300 grams of cream cheese, about 250 grams of yogurt, 2 eggs, and 4 teaspoons of either pudding mix or cornstarch, and then a little bit of vanilla extra, but pudding mix already has both of them. And then I would say add sugar to taste, but just don't add too much, maybe about a 1/4 cup of sugar should be fine, but just add it to taste. Are those monster cans empty? Yeah, so all the monster cans that are here, I need to return to the store because you get 25 cents for each monster can from the store. So I need to go return them so that I can get my money back. What music do you listen to, Megumin? So, okay, I will say last time it was kind of funny because I did like I talked about like my recap of music that I listened to, and I think quite a lot of people enjoy that. So I'm gonna check what I've been listening to lately. I just want to buy viewers. Hey, first time here. You're an amazing human being. Thanks. I don't know what that was about. What do you mean? Anyway. Hi. So what music do I listen to? Okay. Autistic rant of today. I have been so obsessed. Maybe some of you guys know The First Take. The First Take is like this Japanese like YouTube video series where they have some Japanese artists do live, like playing one of their songs live. And they did I don't know I think their name is R.I.P. Slime or Rip Slime. I don't know. Anyway, but I have been obsessed with them and since I listened to Super Shooter like 10 years ago or something like that. Anyway, so I love R.I.P. Slime, and they did a first take video for One, which is one of my favorite songs, and I really, really, really like that, and I think I've listened to that every day for the past week, at least, I don't know, 3 to 5 times a day or even more. I really just really, really like R.I.P. Slime, and I just really like that song. And also, since I mentioned Marina last week, I think I have been kind of listening to Marina again, and I looked into her new album a little bit more in depth, I will say. I looked into her new album, and I will say there are a couple songs that I do like. Let me see. Let me open her new album. But yeah, there are some songs from her new album that I actually do like. I really like I Love You. And I saw her a video of her playing that live. I think it was at Lollapalooza or something like that. I don't know, but I actually like that as well. And apparently she is doing like a tour, but she didn't do any dates in Europe. I don't know if I would go, but I kind of feel like I would because I actually really like Marina. But yeah, I've been listening to a lot of R.I.P. Slime, and then just what I showed last time, like, I really still have been listening to Uru Sirens by Humeta Cypher still. I just really like that song. I am so sorry. I also have been listening to Action Cat by Gerard Way a lot. I don't know why only that song specifically, but I remember listening to that when I was like, I don't know, 12 or something like that, and I actually really liked it. So I've been revisiting some music, and yeah, just the usual, like, I don't know, Fried by Fluoride, Negative XP, Kenshi Unesu, obviously, 9mm, Parabellum, Bullet. I feel like I just always repeat myself. I always listening to the same stuff. Marina is one of the few artists I would like to see live. Yeah, I know, like, I really, like, she's just been such a, like, icon for me. Like, I just think that she's so beautiful, and her style is just so cool. Like, she's one of, like, the only, like, female artists where I've just, I don't know, I'm just kind of obsessed with her style and just who she is as a person, even though I have kind of deviated a bit away from her music, I have to say, but I just think that she's really cool. And she just seems like a really creative person. I don't know. I've been listening to the same 3 bands for much of my teenage years, so I don't know, I've been listening to the same kind of music for, I don't know, since I was like 12 or something. Okay, I can actually see the cheesecake very well from here, so that's actually gonna be quite good for the future. My favorite English speaking artist for sure. Yeah, I really like her. Yeah, I don't know, I don't listen to that many like interesting things. I still listen to like Fall Out Boy and some old Panic at the Disco stuff. Okay, this is in my list. I was listening to Sorry for Party Rocking again, because I have to admit it is such a banger. It is actually a banger. I've also been listening to Romance Planet a bit, which is very different from what I usually listen to, but I think he's really cool. I also really like his style, and he just seems like he really like enjoys that authentic like 2000s style. And yeah, I like his music quite a bit. I've been listening to the same 4 groups since I was 15. You should tell us who. You guys should name artists, and I can maybe give my opinion. I also looked into the new Taylor Swift album, but I have to say I really did not like it. I don't know. I thought it was very bad. like even for Taylor Swift, it was quite bad. I do have to admit. I don't know. What else have I been listening to? Oh yeah, I've always been I always listen to Weezer. I really like Weezer. Boundy, I also really like Boundy. I have been listening to Neat as well, who I liked back in 2020, but I don't know, like I don't like as many of his songs as I do like Fried or someone else. A lot of R.I.P. Slime, like literally just the same, like less than 10 artists or something. Also some Mr. Green Apple, apparently. Yeah. What's my favorite Weezer album? Okay, so for some time, my favorite Weezer album was actually White Album, because it was the first one that I listened to when I was like a teenager. It was summer and it was like a vibe. It was so fun. But I would say Pinkerton is my favorite album. Like just revisiting all their music, I would say it's probably Pinkerton. I always forget that Taylor Swift is still making songs. I remember mainly 5 to 7 year olds of hers. Yeah, I don't know, like I feel like she released way too much music in the last few years, that to the point where it's like kind of like I don't know how it could be good because it's too much music. Like there's no way that she was so inspired to make this. Okay, it's looking good. System of a Down, Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace were the ones I was talking about. Yeah, I don't think I've ever really listened to any of them. Oh yeah, and then Frolic said Millie, Tally Hall, Neck Deep, and Marietta. I also have never really been I've never really listened to any of those. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I also really love Frederick. Like Frederick. I really love them. Even though, okay, I have to say I had to stop listening to them a couple years ago because I was in a really bad accident where I fell off my, okay, context. I used to ride my kick scooter to class because I'm not very good at riding a bike. And I didn't want to pay for public transport because I was living in Vienna at the time. Public transport was kind of uncomfy for where I was staying. And yeah, I was broke, okay? And yeah, I have to keep an eye on it. And so I used to always ride my kick scooter to class. And I was riding my kick scooter to class and I was listening to Frederick, and then I felt like I literally just fell off because the floor was wet. I just fell off and I landed on my knee, and I think I tore some sort of ligament. I don't know, but my knee was like this size. I still went to class and everything that day, but then I went to the bathroom and I tried pulling my pants down, and my knee was so huge that I just couldn't do it. And then I was like, I think I should probably go to the hospital at this point. This was like at 4 p.m. or something like that, and the accident happened at like 9 in the morning. So like I don't know what I was thinking the entire day, but I literally just couldn't walk for 3 months straight, and I was living alone, so it was really difficult. So for some time, this was all just to say that for some time, I just couldn't listen to Frederick because it was just too traumatic. But I have been listening to Frederick again. And actually, that reminds me, another band that I really like that I feel like is very, very underrated is this Japanese band called Domiko, I don't know. Domico. I really, really love Domiko or however you pronounce that. I don't know, I have been obsessed with them for like 6 years or something like that. I just really, really like them, so I would definitely recommend listening to them. A motorized scooter? No, just like a kick scooter, like the one you just push. But yeah, I really like kick scooters. They are very fun. Scooters are double anchored. It's impossible to never get into accidents with those. This is the only like really bad accident I had. besides that, the only other accident I had was I was riding, and when you're riding a kick scooter, you cannot ride on the biking lane. You have to only ride it on the sidewalk. But some cyclist just came in the sidewalk and bumped his entire bike into my knee after I had already had that accident, by the way, so that was horrifying. He bumped his bike into my knee because he didn't see me and he was going really fast, and then he just left and like ran off. Those were the only 2 accidents I ever had on my kick scooter, actually. Skateboard is better anyway. Yeah, but I just never learned to ride a skateboard, so I'm just not cool enough for that, I guess. What a loser. Yeah, I don't know, that guy, like, my hate for cyclists is extremely justified, okay? I miss the bike rent. So true, so true. One time, I was complaining about cyclists and bikers, and I called them bikelers. And then a friend was like, oh, like, bike Hitlers? I was like, I didn't mean it that way. I actually just misspoke, but sure, like, bike Hitlers, I guess. Very correct opinion. Yeah, I don't like those guys, okay? I don't like them. There's a curse in Counter-Strike where anyone who rides those in the yearly tourney in Köln will always get into an accident. Okay, the kick scooters? I don't know. I like kick scooters. Kick scooters, I like them. I learned to ride them when I was a kid, and I don't know, they're just a vibe. They are just fun. Why do I have so many Twitter notifications? Like, actually, what did I do? And why is everyone talking about Astolfo and Monster Cans? I thought we left that back in like 2018 or something like that. I don't know what is going on. Anyway, I like Frederick a lot. I also like Sakka Nation a lot. I think they are very good. And then I also have some Vocaloid here and there, because oh yeah, okay, hear me out. Okay, this is an important discussion to have. Okay, so I was watching Gachiakta, and I am very much like, I gotta check this. I always leave the opening on because well, you guys know, I like doing anime opening quizzes. I am a big finding good anime openings aficionado, okay? I was watching Gachiakta, and like, there's a part of the opening that I actually kind of vibe with, that I actually kind of enjoyed, but then it, like, half of the song also really sucks. So I said to myself, I'm gonna look up the full song and I'm gonna see if I like the full song, because maybe it's kind of different. It is such a messed up song, like the entire song. First of all, it is really long. It is 5.5 minutes long. And towards the end of the song, like, it just is a completely different song. I don't know, I don't get it. I kind of vibe with like a third of the song, but I don't know, the other 2/3, I just don't get it. I just don't get the vision. But it was like almost good, but then it wasn't really good. And that's kind of like the same thing with the anime. Like, it was kind of an interesting premise. It kind of looked like kind of cool, but then like 5 episodes later, I was like, I don't know if I want to finish this. I don't know if I like this. Hello, little bro? Little as in the store little, or little as in I am little? Because I feel like I am quite normal sized, okay? The monster stacking clip looks like it's gonna blow up. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of funny. I thought it was a kind of funny idea. Oh yeah, I guess it did actually do well. I don't know. I never know what is gonna do well on Twitter, I have to say, because my original Patrick Bateman walking to Keon, which is the original Patrick Bateman walking meme clip. Okay, I was the first person to post that. That clip, I posted it on Twitter in November of 2020, and it actually only got like 50 to 100 likes. And in 2021, 2022, it became like one of the biggest memes. So like, you just never know what's gonna blow up, and sometimes things that initially kind of don't blow up then end up like really blowing up later on. I don't know. Same thing with my Yui Sonichu edit. I edited Yui from Keon with like the Christian like shirt and with like the medallion and everything. I even did like sequels, third parts, fourth parts. I did so many of those edits. I don't even know how many I did, but I just found them to be really funny. And it really blew up like in 2021, like a bunch of people had it as a profile picture. I don't know. I don't even know where they got it from, because I think I only posted it in like a K-On group on like Facebook or something. But yeah, sometimes I just never know what is gonna do well on like Twitter and stuff. It is really hard to say. Sometimes the tweets that you don't expect to blow up really blow up. Like sometimes when I was talking about how smoking is like awful and like you're gonna be like brain dead from smoking or something like that. I don't remember what it was exactly, but something about smoking weed. I was saying that some girl was stupid for smoking weed, and I think I got like 5,000 likes, like for no freaking reason. But yeah, I don't know. I just cannot let go of being on Twitter. I've been on Twitter for way too long, and it's kind of embarrassing, but it's just funny. Yeah, the weed tweet, I remember, like, it was from like 2 years ago or like a year and a half ago. I don't know, but that tweet just went crazy. And actually, I also had a tweet about cyclists that went that got a lot of likes. I think it was earlier this year, where I said that like some cyclists deserve like being pushed from the side of the road or something like that. I don't know. It's a cursed website. That is very true. But anyone who says that Twitter is the worst right now was not on Twitter in like 2012 or something like that. Like those were crazy times. Oh yeah, also the Saarland tweet. Yes. Okay, that one didn't like completely blow up, but it did do very well. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of funny. Sometimes I just have funny ideas. Yeah, it actually did do well. I got 1.8 thousand likes for saying something really stupid. Anyway, you just never know what's gonna do well on Twitter. Yeah, Saarland, famous for coal mining. That guy short is trying. Yeah, okay, that is true. I'm amazed that you always have so many ideas to post. Look, here's the thing. I don't really have friends in real life. So everything stupid that I think, I just post on Twitter. Whereas I feel like most people like are probably just as funny or even funnier, but they usually will only share that with their friends. So I have all of my funniness reserved to posting on Twitter, you guys. A bit late as per usual, but I'm finally here. Hi Darren, thank you for subscribing and thanks for being here. I'm glad you managed to arrive. We still have a long way to go, okay? We have the cheesecake in the oven, and I'm also gonna make some caramel. What are friends? So true. Like, okay, I am trying to talk to people in real life. It's just hard to like actually make friends. And especially because like, where do you even meet like friends? Where do you even meet like friend people? I don't know. Like I thought college, but that didn't really work out for me. But yeah. Anyway, that sounds so sad saying it out loud. I mean, a little bit, but at the same time, like, I'm just being honest. Like, I don't really know where you meet people past the age of, like, 18. Or even then. Like, I don't know how you meet people past, like, 15 or, like, something like that. Anyway, we always discuss this, and that gets really sad, you guys. I am extremely social because I talk to people on the internet. Work, I guess. The issue is I am quite a bit younger than everyone that I am working with currently, so I said something about playing on the Game Boy, or like something about a Game Boy, and then the charging. Yeah, I said something about a charging cable that looked like a Game Boy charging cable, and I just got stared down like, do you even know what a Game Boy is? And I'm like, of course I know what a Game Boy is. Like, everyone thinks I'm like 12. Okay, it is getting burnt. It's gonna need about 5 to 10 more minutes, I think. We all know that internet people aren't real people. We're just voices in your head. No, talking about Game Boys when you're finishing DK Country. Yes, okay. I don't know. The thing is, I currently cannot stream games because my internet is not good enough to stream on my computer currently where I'm at. So if you guys want to see more Donkey Kong, I can try doing a Donkey Kong stream next week because I'm moving from the strange flat with the bed next to the kitchen to a different flat where I'm only gonna be there for like a week. Game Boy Advance SP for me. Yeah, I only ever played with the Game Boy Advance SP. I never played with the original Game Boy. You know, fair, my friend circle is old people from nearby that I played League with since I was since 2013. Yeah, like I feel like I don't really know how you make friends when you're like not in school anymore. Unless you attend some sort of club or extra activity, or you just meet friends through other mutual friends. But if you don't have any sort of friend group built, it is very difficult. But yeah, I mean, most people I know I have met online, which is kind of embarrassing, but it is fine. Like, I think it's okay. Oh, my teeth are pink. Making friends when you're done with school is freaking hard. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe at the gym, but I feel like most people at the gym don't really talk to you, or at least when I've been at the gym, I haven't really talked to anyone. Work is also kind of awkward because it's like, you know, we work together. Like, I don't know if being friends with your coworkers is like that fun. I don't know. Anyway, let's not talk about making friends. I always get into that topic and then I have to out myself as not having any IRL friends. My university years have been marked by me in my lonesomeness. I don't know. Is lonesome a word? I don't know. Anyway, understandable. I was told that that whenever anyone talked about me, they didn't know what my name was, so they just said, oh, the girl who always has a monster that sits in the first row. Okay, fine. That's a good description, I guess. I made friends at the tabletop shop, but then the shop closed down. No. And I didn't have any other contact details. No, that is really sad. I'm sorry about that. The answer is very simple. You don't, you're cooked. Yeah, like I have accepted that. Like I accepted that faith when I was like 16. I was like, I don't have any friends. It's only gonna get harder from now. So I really just need to lock in life. I really just need to, you know, lock in life. I can have like my online friends. Some of my online friends I know IRL. But like, it's not gonna get any better. Just give up. Some of my friends are 17 and some are 75, to be honest. No, that is crazy. Monster Girl Lamau. Yeah, they totally clogged me. Okay, to be fair, I was wearing like I always used to wear this like negative XP, his name before was School Shooter, and I was always wearing this shirt that just said School Shooter and had some like cute anime girls with guns. That is not a good thing to be wearing at university. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, I used to wear that a lot, and this was during COVID. So I think like when I was going, which was like once a week or something, when I had like a class where I actually had to attend, I was wearing that. I don't know why. I don't know what was in my brain. Anyway, my friends right now are people I play Deadlock with. Yeah, I feel like it's nice to find a group of people that you play stuff with. I used to have a group of friends that I okay, it's getting done. That I used to play Pokemon Showdown and just Pokemon in general with, but I haven't been playing as much lately, but I would like to get into it again. It's all downhill from here, yes. It sucks when all my friends get married and then they can't hang out. I don't know, I don't have any... Okay, actually I do have one married friend, but yeah, we also are only online friends, so I guess it doesn't really change much. Respect for the Chodcore shirt, honestly. Yeah, I was too chuddy in 2020. I was way too chuddy. Okay, but that is what brought me inspiration for making many funny memes, okay? Did you transfer the cringe middle school phase to a cringe college phase? Okay, I didn't have... Here's the thing. I thought I was cool in high school. Like, I always had, like, a Pokemon bag and, like, the Attack on Titan jacket and stuff, you know? But I thought that was cool. I would go through the hallway thinking I was the coolest person in there. And I genuinely thought that I was really cool. And I don't think I realized that people thought that I was weird until after I graduated. Then I thought that, like, I always thought that I was cool. Like, even to this day, I think, like, I was just happy. I was just vibing. I was just showing off things that I enjoyed. I was never scared to be myself, you know? It's called aura. Yes. Were you ever reported for that shirt? I was not. I don't think anyone realized what the shirt was, honestly. I don't know. I mean, I don't think anyone really cared. But yeah, I never got reported. I used to have a group of friends in uni, but we kind of lost contact after we graduated. That kind of sucks. I kind of have one person I talk to from university, but I guess we don't hang out very often. But I guess I would consider him my friend. Seems like a cool fit. It was a cool fit. I used to have a group of middle-aged British guys for Destiny when I was in high school as an American dude. I guess that sounds fun. I guess that sounds kind of like a vibe. Okay, it's almost done. My good friend, he is 65, sometimes gives me cheese or meat from the countryside. That's very sweet of you. That actually sounds really cute. In 2025, wearing an AOT and Bochi shirts is actually fashionable. Yeah, it's where we are right now. It's so hard to exist as someone that liked anime like a long time ago. I don't think that's weird. It's pretty ordinary. I don't know. I lived in a rather small town, so everyone thought that was very weird. There were like a couple people that were like a year or two younger than me that were like, oh, she's actually so cool. Like, it's so cool that she likes anime and things like that, and would sometimes talk to me, but I would feel like, you are 12. Why are you talking to me? So I felt kind of bad about it, but I feel like everyone in my grade was like, oh, everyone thought that was weird, but also it was like a small town and like more the countryside, so it was a bit tough. Too cool for friends, lone wolf. I walked this lonely road, very true. They were all married and had kids. Their spouses and kids knew me by first name basis. That's actually really cute. Hime was Tomoko all along. Yeah, I mean, I always felt kind of like Tomoko when I watched Watamote. I felt like that. In a small town, JoJo Part 4 reference. Yeah, kind of imagine like that, but everyone is like, I don't know. But imagine that, but like in Austria. Anyway, okay. I think I'm gonna show you guys what the cheesecake is looking like. Okay. So you see how it's like burnt at the top? That is what you want. So I will take it out now. So this is like something that you actually want to be burnt. Which is rare in baking, I would say. You usually don't want things to be burnt. Okay. Well, okay, the only other drawback of this cheesecake is sometimes you will experience, because I mean you really want it to be like burnt. So sometimes you will also burn the baking paper. That is normal. So you want it to be quite burnt, like this. And you can't eat it now because the issue is that it's too soft. So you really need it to rest for, it really depends a bit, but at least anywhere from 15, 24 hours, like definitely more than 12. But I guess if you can only do 12, then 12 is also fine. But you really need to let it rest for several hours before you can eat it. Okay. Now I will start making the isn't caramelized a better word than burnt? I mean, it is caramelized, but just to explain what it is, it's burnt. Like, you really just need to burn the top. You know, I've never thought about it, but do you need to use a water bath for Basque cheesecake? Not for Basque cheesecake, but you do need it for a regular cheesecake. That's why I'm saying it is very easy to make this. I'm Sadal from NHK, minus being a NEET, no. Okay, so now I'm gonna make the dulce de leche. So follow me for the next steps. Okay, this is gonna take a long time, just so you guys know. So you need a pot, and you need about, I have a whole liter of milk. I may do a little bit less. I think I will drink a glass of milk, and the rest I will pour in. So you can make, I guess, as much as you want, but I just really want a glass of milk right now. I don't think I ate enough today, but yeah. So just a lot of milk. And the second ingredient that you need is also a decent bit of sugar. About a whole cup of sugar. I don't have measuring cups, but this is about a cup. Okay, and then I'm also gonna have to bring my computer here because apparently my phone is not really showing me the chat anymore. So give me a second. Okay. I have the laptop now, so I can look at the chat. And yeah, I put the milk on medium high. So like this goes from 0 to 6. I put on like a 4. Hello Megumin. Hi Lilok. Hi, is the shelf above the bathroom door for pranks? I guess so. I haven't used that. I'm gonna close the bathroom door now because I can sometimes hear the neighbors in the bathroom door, like because the walls here are super thin. Not that I can hear the neighbors inside my bathroom. Okay, so about a little bit more sugar actually. About this much sugar, so about a cup of sugar. And then you're just gonna keep mixing this for very long. We're gonna be here for a while. So for now it's just heating up so I can rest and drink my milk. Milk is very healthy and nutritious, you guys. Let's see. Let's see what you guys are saying. Okay, I'll bring you down here. 2 foot tall POV. Yeah. I was in an anime club when I was 17. There were only a couple other members, and one of them was a cosplayer. The club didn't last long. Okay, that is sad. Get that calcium, very true. Do you ever leave a pint of milk out on display to assert dominance? No, but I do have a cereal box, as you guys can see. Very important to have the cereal box as decoration. What else? I've never thought about it. No, okay. I already read that. I already read everything. I'm on top of it. But yeah, so Making dulce de leche is just mixing milk with sugar for quite a long time. I think I will put it a bit higher for starters, and then I will lower it. Milk is so good, you guys. Like, I genuinely don't understand how people can be lactose intolerant. Like, just tolerate it, you guys. It's yummy. It's good. You should mix some milk powder in your milk to increase your milk consumption. Okay, that is crazy. I have never seen milk powder at the store, but I also have never looked for it. But maybe I should do that. I always make it by using condensed milk. Yeah, you can also do that. But that is like the shortcut version, and while it's good, I don't know, I feel like it's just more like authentic and nicer to make it yourself. My bones aren't growing anymore, sucks. I mean, unironically, I have not grown like a single inch since I was 12 or something like that. I was quite a tall kid, and then I just stopped growing. It's the lazy version, which fits me. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of like a shortcut version. I don't know if I would say lazy, but I guess lazy would just be buying it from the store. But I feel like if you buy it from the store, it's never that good. A cereal box doesn't strike the same sort of unease as a pint of milk. I used to do that during house viewings, and it worked every time. Maybe I need to do that. Maybe I need to leave a pint of milk. Are you sure you are not malnourished? Look, I just stopped growing at 12. I don't know what I can tell you. I have not been growing for quite a long time. The milk drinking shot. Anyway, I really just wanted a glass of milk. That was really pleasant. Let's just say I still wear my middle school clothes. I also still wear my clothes from when I was like 14, 15. You know, if they still fit and they still work, like, why would I throw them away? Why would I get rid of them? And also, to be fair, like, when you're that age, you're probably about the size you're gonna be for most of your life, unless you get like really fat, like realistically. Like, I don't know, I feel like unless you like gain a lot of weight for some reason, I don't really get why you wouldn't still be able to wear those clothes. I feel like, at least for women, I feel like men do probably grow into like their 20s, but I feel like most women just stop growing at like, what, 17, 18 at the latest. How else would I eat my cheese? It's a European thing to be lactose tolerant. I don't know, just tolerate it. Just tolerate it. It's not small, it's economically sized. I wouldn't even say that I'm small. I was like really big when I was a kid and I just stopped growing. I would say that I'm like on the shorter end of average, but I'm not like extremely short or anything. Like, I am 161 or 5'3" in American units. Okay, I have too many things I need to reply to on Twitter. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did. I think it's a lot of people trying to guess how tall I am on Twitter, even though I replied with how tall I am. Anyway. 161 is on the smaller side, but it's not short. Yeah, I would say it's like on the smaller side of average. I think the average height in Austria for women is like 164, 165. So I would say it's just a little bit below that, but it's not like crazy short or anything like that. Yeah, it's just a little bit below average. I would say I am like not super short, but I guess just below average. Definitely not crazy short. Oh wait. Actually, when I was in high school, not in high school, when I was in like primary school, I was the same height. So I was actually a really tall kid. I was in the basketball team and everything because I was quite large for like a 8-year-old. Like, I was about the same size that I am right now back then. So I think I reached like 150 when I was like 8, and then 160 when I was like 10 or 11, and then I just stopped growing. But I was a tall kid, okay? If you see pictures of me with other kids in school, I was actually really big. 161 for women here is above average. Yeah, but I mean, in the Philippines, I think average for women is like what, like 150, 55 or something like that. So that's like a whole different league of short. I would say like short in Europe is probably like 155 and below, something like that. Okay, this is still warming up. Like, it takes quite a while to really make a good dulce de leche. Were you almost able to consume the other children? Kind of. Like, I always felt like a giant. Like, I always felt like I was just gigantic, because every time in the pictures they would make me stand in the back, and then the other kids, the like cute and dainty little kids, would be like literally half a head shorter than me. I literally felt like a big giant. Average male height is 5'4" in the Philippines. That is actually crazy. I didn't know. I thought it was like 5'6" or something like that. The bigger child consumes the smaller children. Very true. I consumed many of my classmates when I was a kid. But yeah, I don't know. Being large as a kid and then being like kind of short as an adult has actually been like a funny experience. Everyone expected me to be super tall when I was a kid, and then I just stopped growing. My body just said, "Hey, this is as much as I can do. Let's just stop here." Let's just stop here for no reason. But yeah, I'll show you guys so you can see the color change later. So right now it looks like it's just milk, and there's some sugar at the bottom. And eventually it's gonna start getting caramelized, and I'll show you guys when that starts to happen. For now, I'm gonna turn it down because it's already getting quite hot. And it's easy to burn this if you're not constantly stirring, so you have to be very careful. Sounds like an okay deal for a woman. To be honest, as a man, it would be pretty annoying. Yeah, I guess that is true. As a woman, okay, it was a little bit annoying as a kid because all the girls, you know, they had like guys that they liked and blah blah blah, and I was literally just like a giant big like monster. Like, no one liked me. I was just a giant monster. Or at least that's how I felt. Like, that really shaped my future, I have to say. Like, that's like, I should make like a manga about it, okay? It actually sounds kind of like a manga plot. But yeah, being huge was kind of funny in some aspects, like being like taller than all the other kids. But yeah, by the way, I have a jar which was a corn jar that I will use to put the caramel inside. So I have a jar to store it. It reminds me of a guy who had both a dwarfism and gigantism in his life. That is actually crazy. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't know. I guess I just matured like earlier than the other kids. So like I just grew like earlier in life, and then everyone else followed after I was already done with growing. I don't know. Like, I also wasn't like abnormally tall, just quite tall, I guess you would say. Meanwhile, my walk of shame to the front in elementary, when they say that line is my height. No. No, Frolic. Is the pot gonna explode? Hopefully not. I hope I don't burn this, okay? I really hope I don't burn this. Maybe I'll try to show you guys a little bit more what I am doing. But yeah, I'm just mixing the milk until it gets caramelized. By middle school, I walked with pride at least. Okay, that is good to hear. That is good to hear. Steaming. Yeah, it's steaming a little bit, but it's not boiling. I actually maybe will increase it just a little bit because you actually do want it to like fully start like bubbling up. And that still hasn't happened. I can think of a couple rom-com mangas where there are small mangas where the boy is small and the girl is so. Yes, I actually was talking about one of my favorite romance animes, which I forgot the name of it right now, but it's, you guys, I mentioned it last time. It was the one about the really tall girl and the really short guy, and I really like that anime. It's really cute. I just forgot the name of it right now, but that one's a really cute romance anime. When did you start streaming in general? I started streaming last year in August. Mainly just for fun, and it's kind of transitioned into doing it as a social activity because I don't get to socialize that much day to day, so I just find it quite entertaining because it's kind of like talking, like it's kind of become like a little bit of, I know like most of you guys and like some of you guys even DM me and stuff, so it's like hanging out with my friends. But yeah, so I've been streaming for a bit over a year at this point, but I just don't do it regularly enough. I do it like once a week at most, twice a week on very special occasions. Feels like yesterday. 50 views, by the way. This has to be a record. I didn't know if the number was true. Genuinely, I was like, because I can see the number here, but sometimes it doesn't update or sometimes it's like fake. I didn't know there was actually 50, so that is actually really cool. And thanks for everyone who's here. Thanks for everyone who's been here for a long time. I guess there's probably people that are curious from the Megumin Twitter posts. That's nice. You don't see it as a parasocial thing. I don't know. I feel like it is very easy to see what people's intentions are when they DM you. Like, I feel like there are people that are really nice that I like talking to, like, just to name a few people, like Doll I really like. He's a really good friend. Evangelion as well. Like Frolic, who's also here in the chat. Juster, etc. And a lot of these people I also DM, like, even before I even started streaming. So, I don't know. I don't see it as a parasocial thing. I think it's fun, and I consider them, like, my online friends. I came here because of the monster video. Yeah, I feel like maybe that is why we have more views than usual. I need to start DMing people more, but I get shy in text chats for some reason. That is understandable. I sometimes feel like I don't know what to talk about. If I see a post that reminds me of someone, I will try to send it. But for me, it usually like kind of relies on the other person messaging me first, because I always feel like I am annoying people when they don't, when I am the one, like when they don't message me first. I don't know. I know that it's very childish and stupid, but I always feel like I'm being annoying if I am like messaging people for no reason. I'm really bad at starting conversations, like exceptionally bad. Yeah, that is also true. Like, I often really just don't know what to talk. Like, I feel like talking to people, but then I don't really know what to talk about. I don't know. Like, sometimes just to keep contact with people, I will just send them posts, you know, remind me of something they like or remind me of them or something like that, because otherwise I don't know how to start a conversation. So you like Deadlock? Gets blocked. Yeah, I don't know about Deadlock. I haven't looked into that. Yeah, this needs to be higher. Like, it hasn't started like truly bubbling. It's getting hot but not bubbling. I thought Twitch was full of already established streamers, but it's a bunch of smaller streamers, which is nice. And you get to talk to them, and it feels like a hangout. Yeah, I feel like my streams typically feel like I'm just kind of hanging out. Although sometimes I get hate when my cookies are gray. Sometimes I get shamed for my cookies being gray because I added chocolate powder to them. But yeah, no, it usually feels like hanging out and just talking about funny things, and I guess also maybe recommending things that I enjoy, or also I really like doing the anime tier list ranking where I ranked every single anime that I have watched. That was also, that and the Haruhi series on physics that I did have been, I think, my two favorite stream series or streams that I have done. I don't DM people unless I have something important I need to ask. Yeah, that also makes sense. Just DMing people, I guess it really depends. I don't know, it's hard to just randomly talk to people. I don't know. Like people you don't trust. Are you in college? I am graduating. So I am kind of still in college, but I'm graduating with a master's. I submitted my thesis this week, by the way, you guys. Like, officially submitted it. And I just need to do the defense. And then I am done with my master's. I watch streams very occasionally, but I really enjoyed yours. Thank you, Jester. I really appreciate that. Bro, what's your major? I majored in physics. Congrats. Out of the frying pan into the fire. Yeah, this is my job now, you guys. I work in a kitchen. I work in a kitchen all day. Like, I studied physics just so I can get a minimum wage job. Are you feeling confident about your defense? I think I'm fairly confident. I think I know my project well enough that I should be able to answer all questions and etc. that comes up, so I'm not too worried about the defense, honestly. I just need to take some days or whatever to just plan it and practice it. Congrats on the thesis again. Thanks, Frolic. Congrats. Thanks, Cassie. What else? Okay, I don't know. Average physics graduate job opportunities, teacher and backup. Yeah, like right now I am starting a PhD because there are just really no jobs. So I am starting a PhD, so technically I am still in college, but still like not really. I am more of like an employee. I don't know, like PhD positions are usually more like a job, at least here in Europe. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I have my thesis defense at some point. My supervisor didn't want me to submit, so that should go well. I don't know, my supervisor was just like, I don't need to see it any longer, just submit it. I've been working on this project for like 3 years, since my bachelor's, so I feel like I did enough to make a worthwhile thesis, I hope. Hey, at least you aren't a chemist, or you'd have to be a Breaking Bad cook. I actually just started watching Breaking Bad like a couple months ago. I had never watched it before, but yeah, it is a good show. But that seems, okay, I don't want to say it seems like a fun job, but it seems exciting, okay? Yeah, I'm sick of you just graduate, dude. Kind of. I don't know. I think my professor was actually probably satisfied with my thesis. I don't think he meant anything bad by it. I hope that he was happy with it. But yeah, so I managed to also, with my thesis, to publish a paper, and I still need to write a second paper about the stuff that I did. So that is really exciting. So I am like, okay, it's still under peer review, so I am not an author, an official first author yet, but almost. But yeah, so that is kind of exciting. The job is full of ups and downs. Yeah, I don't know. think PhD is kind of like a lifestyle. Like you just kind of devote yourself to like a project and you just do everything you can to see it succeed. I don't know if it's like, it's not really like a job in that sense. Like it is, but at the same time, like it is kind of like your life. Usually it kind of becomes a little bit your life, which is not very nice in some ways. But I guess if you're happy and excited about your project, it should be nice and exciting. Did you find the degrees difficult? Okay, my bachelor's was incredibly difficult. One second, I'm gonna get the spatula, which, well, it's here. I found my bachelor's very difficult, but I actually did pretty well in my master's. Mainly because I mostly did experimental stuff in my master's, so like a lot of labs and experimental lectures and not as much theoretical stuff, which I was quite weak in, I will say. And actually with the experimental stuff, I did a lot better, and I did manage to get pretty good grades for my master's. I wouldn't say it was easy, it was obviously a lot of work and blah, 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 but I enjoyed it a lot more than my bachelor's, and I felt a lot more confident doing things. That makes sense since you can't casually get a PhD unless you're turbo rich. Yeah, PhD is kind of like a job because you're basically working for a project. I don't think most people that try to get a PhD are rich. I would say most people are just really devoted to wanting to see a particular project succeed, or, you know, wanting to really achieve something that has never been achieved before, or further the field in a direction that has maybe not been done before. I feel like that's kind of what a PhD is mainly about. So when you really love a particular field and you really want to devote yourself to it to some extent, I feel like maybe people with a lot of money are more able to do that because they don't have to worry about their livelihood. But I mean, PhDs are usually paid positions, and they are paid okay, like well enough, well enough to live. More than minimum wage. Getting a PhD is really a passion thing these days. There's a lot of public scholarships for grad school right now. Yeah, I agree with that. It's really more of a passion thing than a truly rich people thing. Like, if anything, like, at least in physics, it kind of just makes sense to get a PhD because it's kind of hard to get a job, first of all, without a PhD, and second of all, in physics, especially experimental physics. I was talking about them making super generous donations to be given a PhD without the study. Yeah, okay, so that kind of PhD, that's a different story. That's a different story. But yeah, I mean, PhDs are mainly just, wanting to work in research and getting started working in research and just trying to develop yourself to the best of your abilities in that particular field and achieve something cool, I guess. The hime process, like Haba Bosch, make it so, yeah, I'm gonna invent something and name it after Miko or something like that. I gotta do that. I gotta discover something cool. You ever had any tech inclinations? I would say not particularly. I mean, I have had to learn to like program and things like that for my classes and data analysis and so on, but I don't know. I have been interested in a little bit of software development, as I have seen how to make experimental like system to work with all the devices that you have in your experiment and do scans and do like control every single thing that happens in your experiment. And that part of it is cool, but I don't know if I would like to just do that like
not in an experiment, if that makes sense. I honestly, I am a little bit lost with what I want to do in the future. Like, I kind of just hope I get some job at some point. I don't know, I'm just kind of vibing with life. Are you in a dorm? Not currently. I'm currently staying at an Airbnb. But that's gonna change soon. I think that I'm gonna be in a dorm, but I hope to move out soon-ish, because I don't like dorms and I don't like sharing like bathrooms and stuff with other people and so on. So yeah, I really need to lock in and make enough money so that I don't have to do that any longer. 70 viewers? That is actually insane. I think my peak viewership was like half of that. I don't know why I have so many viewers today. Okay, so currently I am not making a lot of money. I'm on like a scholarship for starting my PhD, and eventually I get like a more permanent position where I get paid enough to live. But yeah, I am not rich, okay? I don't have a lot of money. I am kind of broke. When I post about being broke and joke about that, I am not joking, you guys. Your monster cans bring all the viewers in the stream. Very true. Megumin power. Hi. Need box? Exactly. Okay, not need. I've been going to work in the lab for like 10 hours a day for the last like 3 weeks. So it's been a lot of work. I haven't quite exhausted. I was in the lab today for 9 hours, and then I came and I got ready for streaming. So I am quite tired, you guys. Did they finally start paying you? Kind of. Update, kind of, but not exactly. And they don't even pay you properly. Yeah. I just found you on the front page. Hi. Thanks for coming. I need to lock in the entire population of Gen Z. Yeah, like, I really thought I was doing everything right with getting a bachelor's and getting a master's, but I don't know. I literally got 2 job interviews after applying for like 3 months. I feel like every single time I stream, we just end up talking about how messed up the job market is, you guys. We just cannot avoid that. Well, we're good enough for the front page, apparently, guys. Experience is a form of payment. I guess that's probably what they tell you when they are taking advantage of you. Realistically. My friend did an engineering physics degree. Now he's in neutraling. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It is what it is. To be fair, it is pretty messed up. Yeah, the entire job market isn't extremely messed up. Like, I honestly feel like somewhat lucky that I was even able to find anything, honestly. So I can't complain. I can't really complain too much, you know. You know, I'm dressed in a Megumin cosplay, making caramel. Like, I can't complain too much about life. So I guess there are still good things that happen. It's a dog eats a dog world, my friend. The 99 percentiles take everything. I don't know if that's a good outlook in life, honestly. I feel like that would be too frustrating. Plenty to complain about, that is true, but there's also plenty of things to be thankful about, you know? Never kill yourself and such, you know? The job market is a major part of our lives, unfortunately. Yeah, I kind of stopped looking for a job now. I think I am more or less satisfied with this position at the moment, so I'm gonna pause job searching unless major issues happen, I guess. So we're just vibing through life. We're just vibing through life and seeing what happens. You've been staring for an hour. I am telling you guys, this takes a long time. Actually, I think I will put it hotter because I feel like this is just not hot enough. I'll show you guys what it is looking like. It is starting to get a little bit of color. You see it's a little bit yellow. But I increased the heat more because it's just taking really long. But it does take about an hour. I think I've been stirring for about 20 to 30 minutes. It does take about an hour to have this completely caramelized. We gotta keep hope posting and yearning till we make it. Very true, very true. That's how I feel about my job, to be honest. Like, I could spend some time and maybe get a slightly better position, but it's a lot of work to job hunt. That is also very true, and most of the time it just makes you feel worse about yourself because, I don't know, I still get rejections from jobs that I applied to like 2-3 months ago, and it's like, I don't remember who you are. I don't remember who you are. Can you please just, if you don't reply within like a month max, just don't even tell me anything. Honestly. Okay, now I increase the heat and now it's going. Now it's bubbling up. But yeah, you have to stir constantly the entire time. That's like kind of the hard thing about making it at home. Okay, let's see. I think here I'm on my knees, so I can stir and then also hopefully be able to look at the comments. I've managed to maintain hope by wanting to further along in my hobbies. I guess kind of same, because I do really like streaming. I like drawing, anime, etc., cosplay, so on. So I just hope, I should make enough so I can buy new cosplays and like go to cons and things like that. I guess that's all I can hope for, so I can like continue doing things that I enjoy. I've been thinking of sending job rejections to myself, thanking them for the job, but declining the offer. It would be funny to just send them to people that just don't reply within like a considerable time. Like, you know, you took a long time to reply. I kind of don't want this job anymore, actually. You can grab the chair. No, because I have my laptop on the chair so I can actually read the chat, because the messages aren't popping up on my phone for some reason. The sleeping well, not really working. Yeah, I also haven't been sleeping too well this week, honestly, because it's just been quite busy. It's just been a really busy week. And yeah, but I have things to look forward to, you know? I have things to look forward to, and that's all I can ask for. That's all I can ask for. Okay, now it's nicely bubbling, so I think things are happening. I'm gonna move my laptop here so that it's maybe hopefully easier to read the chat, because I keep like turning around in this direction and it's like making it harder. So now I can turn around in this direction. Choose to go for 2 chairs. I'm at an Airbnb. I didn't choose how many chairs. The other chair, there is a second chair, but it's actually occupied. So that was my fault. I didn't plan for that. Wide awake at 4 a.m. with class later frolic. Please go to bed. Please go to bed. Could it be all the caffeine? To some extent, yes, but to another extent, I don't know, working 10 hours a day for 2 weeks without caffeine, I don't know how you can do that. Like, props to you if you can do that, but I really just cannot do that. I can't possibly find the concept of a hobby, something possible of bringing hope, while there are so many other beings way better at those hobbies. I get that, but like sometimes you don't have to be good at a hobby, like watching anime or something like that. Like, you can just have fun. You can just like enjoy something. Like that's also nice. Can't afford an Airbnb with 2 chairs. Okay, there is a second chair, but there's stuff on it, okay? I'm sorry, there's stuff on the second chair. Funnily enough, I never drink caffeine after 4 p.m. Me neither, but still sometimes I also have sleeping issues. I think that just comes with like studying STEM or something like that. Or just being like a very anxious person, probably. I'm my own biggest competitor. No point in caring about progress in hobbies. I don't know, I feel like all my hobbies don't really rely on competing with people. I mean, I guess cosplay is like the closest because there are people that maybe cosplay characters better than me, but like I just do it for fun. Like I don't care. Like I appreciate other people's cosplays. I guess I just try to cosplay characters that I feel like I enjoy cosplaying, that are like fun or are kind of like a little bit like me in some way. Okay, I will leave this for a couple minutes because I'm starting to get like a little bit sweaty from stirring so much. So I'm gonna dry my face. Look, I have these like mattifying pads, and they're actually quite nice. They make me my face less shiny because it's looking really shiny from having all the steam come in my face. I got twice tickets for Berlin. That sounds fun. Although I don't listen to K-pop, I have to be honest. I was kind of thinking about going to see Flo because they're gonna be in Cologne this month, but I don't think I have the money, so I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think they literally are going like next week or this week or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to know. But why don't you just use some paper towels to wipe your face? Because I have makeup. I have makeup on my face. I have like powder makeup on my face, so if I wipe it with a towel, then it's like probably gonna rub off some of the makeup. Wait, actually it's not rubbing off, but anyway, I don't want to ruin my makeup. So these things are just so that you don't ruin your makeup. I understand that you can do it for fun, but when it comes to me, I still compete with non-existing standards and expectations simply because we're surrounded by successful people that are just way better at everything. It kind of breaks the fun part. I'm so sorry. What the heck? I don't know. I mean, I understand it, but it is the type of thing that it sounds like it makes sense in your head, and then you say it out loud, and it sounds like the cringiest thing that you could ever say. And it's like, sometimes you have to be a little bit realistic. Like, do you want to enjoy anything in your life, or do you just want to keep yourself, like, you know, making yourself feel miserable for no reason? And it's like, at some point, you need to accept that if you want to be happy, you have to ignore certain things or not pay attention to thoughts in your head that when you say them out loud, you kind of sound like you are insane or that you are like really exaggerating. So I understand where you're coming from, but that's just not a good outlook in life, and that's just not going to be an outlook in life that's going to make you ever happy, you know. Ignorance is bliss after all, or even not just ignorance, but just acceptance of, you know, you're not going to be a perfect person ever in your life, and that is okay. You don't need to ignore that fact. You just kind of have to accept it and live with it and try to enjoy things considering that and taking that into account. Some are just more perfect than others. Alexander the Great conquered the known world at 16, but he never got to drink Pepsi Max. So true. Like, genuinely, like, I post the Monster, like, never kill yourself post, because sometimes drinking a Monster is the highlight of my entire day, which sounds a little bit sad, but for those few minutes that I am drinking something I enjoy, I am actually quite happy, and it is nice, and I don't know, I am happy with that, and sometimes it's fine to be happy with small things in life. Otherwise, you'll just never be happy, and then And then it's kind of like, why are you doing this to yourself? I'm not a perfect person. There's many things I wish I didn't do. It's the little things. Yeah, I don't know. I always see posts about people that regret certain things that they did in their life, and I don't know. I feel like I don't really regret anything I have done in my life. Maybe the only thing I could think of is like, I wish I had studied something else so that I would have an easier time. But at the same time, I feel like the job market right now is just kind of crappy. But besides that, I don't feel like I've done anything in my life that I regret. I feel like I am, even if I'm not happy every second, I feel like as a whole, like, I'm happy, you know? I can't ask for more, or I have tried my best. I can't ask for more for myself. Sometimes just the situation is kind of crappy, but you cannot really do that much about it. 68 doomers versus positive Megumin. Look, I am always very doomer in here, but I'm just talking like realistically. If you have that mindset, like, you're just genuinely never gonna be happy with yourself. I'm gonna add a little bit more sugar because I don't know if it's not caramelizing because there's not enough sugar. So we'll see if that's the thing we need. I also need to get the baking powder. And I think I will also add a little bit of the vanilla cornstarch just to get the vanilla taste. And the cornstarch also helps thicken it up a little bit. But I will do that towards the end. 72? That is crazy. I don't know. Here it says 69. Finally, a good stream to drink beer to. Okay, I will say something funny. Like, I don't like drinking because it just tastes bad. But, you know, I bought this on the weekend because, you know, it's like funny, like alcohol, but Japan, you know? So, like, I wanted to try it. But I drank about a third of it, and it literally tasted like acetone, like nail polish remover. It had like a pleasant-ish lemon flavor, but then the rest was like nail polish remover, like bitter taste. I really don't like that. I have not really found like an alcohol that I truly like would actually drink and enjoy. It's just not for me. I don't know. Not on stream. Hime getting into alcohol. So I drank about a third of it, and then yesterday I had one more sip, and then I was like, I need to throw this away. I'm never gonna drink this. I don't like the strong zero either. Vodka is also not for me. Yeah, I don't like it. Alcohol is honestly nasty, but I recently had a frozen cocktail from a store, and that was tolerable and actually quite nice. I am open to trying alcohol and seeing if I enjoy anything, but so far it's just not been very successful, I have to say. I always feel like such a baby because I'm like, no, I don't drink. It kind of tastes yucky. But yeah, I'm sorry, it just kind of tastes yucky. Try some good old-fashioned beer. I have tried, I think, at least 3 different types of beer or something like that. I don't like any of them. I just really don't. I don't know. I just really don't like it. I've never been drunk. I've never drank enough alcohol to ever be even close to drunk because I just really don't like the taste. Don't drink alcohol. It destroys people, relationships. It brings trauma, violence, and other nasty stuff. I mean, I feel like you can drink a normal amount of alcohol and be a normal person. But yeah, alcohol addiction can definitely bring those things. I don't really have like a history of family that were like, you know, drunks or anything like that, so I don't particularly have like trauma or something associated to it, but I just don't like the taste. I don't know, it's just not for me. I recommend cider or wine. I have tried wine. I also didn't like it. I tried cider once. I also didn't like it. Like, I couldn't get past like 1 or 2 sips. Just don't get addicted. Yeah. I don't really drink either. I like being controlled by brain. Like, I have never even drank enough to be anywhere close to not in control of my brain. I also feel like, I don't know, I always say stupid stuff regardless of anything going on, so I don't really need alcohol to like do that. I don't know what the effect of alcohol would be on me. So I'm already silly. Do you ever play video games on stream? Yes, I sometimes play video games on stream, and also thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that. I was playing Donkey Kong Country for the GBA, so if you guys want to see more of that, I can definitely stream it. I have been playing a game called Signalis, which I thought this would maybe be a fun game to stream, but I don't know. It's like a horror survival game, like kind of puzzly type of game, and I've actually been enjoying playing it. I've also been playing a little bit of Persona 4, which I also hadn't played before. So I don't know what kind of games you want to see me play. Or also I was playing Pokemon Showdown, which I really like. Try ciders. There's decent cheap ones. L'Authentique, French cider pear. I don't know. I tried like an apple cider once, and I really didn't like it, honestly. Don't need alcohol to be silly. Very true. Very true. You should try mixing vodka into your monster. No, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. Every time I tried wine, I thought it tasted like it went bad or something. Yeah, I really don't like the taste of wine. It tastes like a fart. I don't know how else to describe it. I just really don't like it. Signalis is legendary. You on Signalis, that's surprising. I got it recommended by a friend like a year ago, and I bought it and I never played it, and now I had a little bit of extra time and wanted to like relax after work. So I'm about like 2-3 hours in, and I'm actually really enjoying the game, even though it's like nothing like what I would normally play at all. Physics-based games, Half-Life 2. I have Half-Life 2 also on Steam because it was like free last year or something, but I still haven't gotten around playing it, so I don't know, maybe I will someday. Speaking of games, you should try Outer Wilds. It's very physics-based. Okay, I don't know that one. I have never heard of that. What kind of farts do you make that taste like wine? I don't know. That's just kind of what it tastes like to me. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what wine has that makes it taste like farts to me, but that's just how it tastes. I think Half-Life is older than her. I don't know when Half-Life came out, actually. But yeah, I didn't buy it because it was free last year, but I own it. Maybe I will play it someday. Maybe. Half-Life 2 suffers from it being one of the pioneers of the episodic game genre, a genre which is deservedly dead. Must be all the monster you are drinking. Okay, I only drank 2 monsters today. That is not that much. That is within the normal bounds of how much caffeine I can consume without affecting my health. I should get water though. I really need some water. Okay, I have water. Half-Life 2 is from 2004. Half-Life 1 came out in 1998. Okay, I am younger than Half-Life 1, but I am older than Half-Life 2. Oh, okay, wait. Now it's the exciting part. I'll show you guys. See, now it's really, really bubbling, and this is the time where you really have to stir constantly. And I think I'm gonna lower the heat a little bit because it's getting very crazy. It's getting incredibly crazy. Okay, so you guys can see that it's starting to turn. It's starting to turn a little bit yellow, and that's because it's getting caramelized. I'll show you guys when it gets even darker than this. But yeah, now it goes quite fast. Now it should be like 15 more minutes of stirring. Caffeine tolerance is high with this one for sure. Okay, I have been drinking 2 monsters a day for 8 years or something like that. I don't know, but I really like monsters. I really like caffeine. Progress. You should play G-String. It's a cyberpunk mod of Half-Life 2. Kidney stones, you would tell. Okay. I will not be getting any kidney stones. I also had this banger I posted last week, which was, I will not stop drinking caffeine. I will not get more sleep. If I get a kidney stone, I will just kill myself. And that is true. I will never get a kidney stone, you guys. It's not happening. I drink so much water every day. I drink 2 to 3 liters of water every day, plus monsters. So my kidneys are doing well. Have you tried the Green Monster Ultra Paradise? Yes, and I actually don't really like it. I actually don't like it very much at all. Not even considering any of the medical procedures, just straight to death. Yeah, like I cannot be doing that. I had to switch hands because my hand is falling asleep. Girl, that's so bad for you. Okay, guys, it's not even that much caffeine. Like, people would tell you that, but then they were drinking like 7 coffees a day. Like, nah. And like I've been saying, like, do you guys think I am doing like a PhD without coffee, without caffeine? That is not possible. Let me just tell you, that is not possible. I don't know a single person who is in physics or anything along those lines that does not have even a slight caffeine addiction. Everyone is drinking a lot of coffee, let's be real. I once worked my caffeine intake at like 700 milligrams a day. Okay, I actually did have like heart issues at some point when I was drinking, I think like 500 milligrams a day, but it went away. It's been away for like 7 years, so I don't expect it to come back. Maybe the PhD is on the possibility of writing a paper without caffeine. Yeah, it is not possible. That paper doesn't exist because it is impossible to do that. Okay, I'm gonna keep the camera on the caramel because it's looking very nice. You know, a month after I started drinking Monster, my chest started to hurt. Okay, maybe get that checked, Frolic. I am no doctor, but you should probably get that checked. Okay, you guys see what I mean? You guys see what I mean? How it's like looking like caramely and like nice? That is what you want, but now we still need to reduce this by quite a bit. I'm actually gonna pull up the heat once again. I'll let it bubble for a little bit. But yeah, I once again have a lot of steam on my face, so I'm gonna dry it. I'm gonna dry the steam on my face. Okay, what else? What else are people saying? You will be a doctor. No, yes, but a doctor in physics. I don't want to look at anyone's caffeine problems. There might be an allergic reaction, but definitely not natural. Yeah, I would get that checked, Frolic. I would get that checked. They don't make PhDs in topics where that would be possible. Very true. Very true. Okay, this is looking quite nice. But yeah, I am telling you guys, making nice caramel at home really takes a long time. I was not joking. I was not joking. This looks very professional. What looks very professional? I mean, the stream is definitely not very professional. I'm just trying my best, you know. But the caramel does look very nice. The caramel does look very nice. So buddy, how many times did you make caramel before? I also hope the bubbles don't pop high. No, that is fine. And I have made it at least 10 times before. I don't know, it is always a long process. It always takes a long time. But yeah, it is getting there. I can see the color popping up. And once you see the color, it usually doesn't take very long until it's done. So how are we supposed to get a taste of this? You just need to do it at home. Like, I got someone who did the cookie recipe that I did in one of my streams, and they recreated it, and they said that it was nice. So you can recreate the recipe. You can recreate making caramel at home, and also the cheesecake. Okay, yeah, this is getting nice. This is getting nice and caramelized. I actually might need to lower this now a little bit. How are you doing? You smell very clean. I hope you cannot smell me. Thank you for believing in us. You can do it. I am sure you can do it. Hey Valvatore, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate that. Thanks for coming. We're almost done. We're getting the caramel done. I'm gonna show. I made a cheesecake, a Basque cheesecake, so the top is like nice and like caramelized. It's almost cool enough to put it in the fridge, but I think I'll do that after the stream. But yeah, now I am making some caramel, which takes about an hour of constant stirring to make it. Or actually over an hour, I think. I think the heat at the beginning was just really low. That was a bit of a problem. Talking about the recipe recap, yes. So recipe. So you guys can see this is what the caramel is looking like. Now it's quite thick and it's getting a lot more color. And oh, as you can see, it's like changing color right before our eyes. But yeah, so this is so for every 1 liter of milk, you just do 250 grams of sugar, and then you want to add a little bit of vanilla, and towards the end, this is also an important thing that you only do towards the end, you add a little tiny bit of baking powder or baking soda, and this just helps like make it really nice and caramelized. And I think I will also add the vanilla now. But yeah, and that is kind of it. That is really all you need. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. I actually think I need a little bit more baking powder. But yeah, the baking powder helps finish the caramelization process somehow. Preferably you would use baking soda, but I just didn't have that available. But yeah, this is getting really nice and thick, and I just wanted to get a little bit darker, and then I will put it in my jar. So yeah, I just add a little bit more baking powder for the caramelization. Hime going stir crazy. I thought with baking soda and caramel you make a honeycomb. A little bit, but that's why you don't add too much. You just add a little bit just to make it like thick and bubbly. I'll show you guys what it's looking like now. So this is kind of what you want. You know, it's like really thick and nice, and you can get it even darker than this. If you just keep caramelizing it. But I'm almost happy with this. It is a little bit chunky because I sadly don't have the best whisk. Like this whisk is kind of small for the pot that I have here. So ideally you don't have any like little caramelized chunks, but it is good enough. It is good enough. So yeah, it's almost done. Why don't you add chocolate powder to it? No, I also don't have any more chocolate powder actually. But yeah, so let me show you guys. So this is what you want, you know, where it's like very caramelly. So that's the thought I had some in my hand. So that's kind of the consistency you want, and I think I am quite happy with this. I think I'm gonna turn it off now. I'll show you guys what it looks like. It is extremely hot, so I think if I want to try it, I'm just gonna transfer it to the spatula. But yeah, so it is quite nice. It's still very hot. You see, my finger is red. But this is really delicious. And you can get the color a lot darker. I think I maybe didn't add enough sugar to make it darker. I'm actually gonna get the gloves off because I don't want to get them full of sugar. But yeah, I'm just gonna put this in this jar, and then we're gonna call it a day. This makes me wonder whether there's people out there that actually go about their day well dressed in cosplay. I kind of did that in high school. Like, I always used to wear like funny like cosplay like outfits that had like cosplay parts in them. But yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of cosplayers do that. Okay, now I think the hardest thing is gonna be getting this in the container without making like a huge mess. But I will try my best. Okay, I will try to show you guys. Cause maybe it'll be funny. I will try my best, and I'll also try my best of not getting any on my phone. But yeah, I have to concentrate. Okay. Let me scrape off the sides to get as much as possible. And then immediately I'm just gonna add hot water to the pot so that I can get all the bits that are stuck out later. But yeah, it actually came out quite nice. I wish it were a little bit darker, but I think I should have added a little bit more sugar. But I just couldn't measure how much sugar I added, so I was kind of scared of adding too much. Okay, I'm just gonna add water to this. Nope. But yeah. So as you guys can see, this is the very nice homemade caramel, and I'm just gonna let it cool down. Here we also have the cheesecake, which is cool enough to put in the fridge actually, so I'm gonna do that after the stream. But yeah, if you guys see, there's the chair, it has stuff in it. And that's the other chair, and here's the chair with the chat. Okay. What will I do with the caramel? I mainly wanted to make it because I had a lot of sugar left over from the other recipes I did. Subtle Rewe sponsorship. Yeah, I wish, but I don't have the Rewe sponsorship. Combine monster with caramel? I don't know if I want to do that. Do I have a rat under the hat? Sadly, no. Sadly, no. But anyway, you guys, I think I'm gonna have to leave now because it is quite late, and again, I need to work tomorrow. It's so over. But yeah, I hope you guys like the stream. I hope you guys tried the recipes that I showed, and yeah, and thanks for everyone new that joined. I do like funny streams sometimes, like once a week. I usually post on Twitter when I'm gonna do them. It's a little bit irregular because it's not my job. I don't really make much money from streaming or anything like that. I mainly just do it for fun and to talk to you guys. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and
thanks for everyone new that came today. I really appreciate that. But yeah, anyway, so thank you, and I will see you soon, hopefully. Bye.